DJGamers.com.
They couldn't afford James Earl Jones.
Now, Trip Hawkins was still chairman of Electronic Arts during all this, which is why you see so many Electronic Arts games on the system. And what his idea was offer a lower royalty to developers to entice them to make games. So he was offering a $3 royalty compared to $9 to $12 that other companies were charging.
Now, the downside of that is that he actually had to change that later on in the system just because.
And that was a problem. After the system was released and wasn't selling, he needed to make money. So he overnight told the developers that they were going to start being charged another $3 per game for advertising costs. That did not help at that point strained relations, and so they cut it back to $1.50 for the rest of that year, but the following year they upped it, so all of a sudden one of the main selling points for developers was gone.
Now this is another game that's kind of faking 3D.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, we see everything rotating. The background's pretty static, but
lots
you can
scaling's going on.
You're basically moving around in a circle, and the background doesn't change a whole lot.
Nope.
But you see a lot of things popping in and out.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's got some pretty decent
and for
depth to it.
Early space adventure, why not? It definitely has the atmosphere, and it has Worf. What more do you ask for?
If you have Worf, I think that right there at least puts you...
It gives you legitimacy.
Yeah, it makes you have at least an authentic sci-fi feel
to it, yeah.
Impending space doom, trademark.
Now the downside to this is you can't move up and down.
Yeah, it's tough to aim.
Those birds are a real pain in the ass. You see, I'm trying to move, but no, it just moves like a tank. Of course, I think I'm driving a tank, so I guess that's fitting.
Some sort of futuristic land thing. So,
that now it's no, that really just comes right at you. It almost feels 3D-ish.
Whoa, it's like you're there.
My God.
Oh.
So, again, you see the different tricks that were used to make it seem like a surreal experience, and they really wanted to push these types of experiences to show these next-gen type of games. They wanted these to definitely stand out from what was on the 16-bit market.
Whoa.
Ooh. And giant boss battles.
Look out for giant bots. And you are fugged. With a G.
Okay. I'd say that was a pretty decent look at that.
Yeah, that's Draxon's Revenge. Another one of the okay, but just none of the games for it made you rush out and want to own one. You didn't play it and have to own it. They never had a killer app.
Especially not at $700.
Yeah. $3DO. Now we see the $3DO screen load up here. When the system loaded the image off of the disk, it would actually load up the $3DO operating system off the game cartridge. So that's how it would load everything up. Sådana softer. And another trick that they used with this early CD-ROM media was with extra space that they had on the 3DO games, they would often copy important parts of the game and make redundant copies of it in case part of the game disc was scratched. It would load up off the second part, which I thought was a really good idea.
They still do that in other systems when they have room.
Yeah, that's a good idea in case, you know, it gets scratched. So those were the types of things
for loading purposes.
Yeah,
it makes it easier. speeds up the load times a little bit. Now we're taking a look at an early PC hit here.
Yeah, this is Myst.
A huge game.
A huge CD-ROM game.
Known for its storyline.
And a huge hit on the PC, but here was another problem with when this 3DO came out. The PC CD-ROM all of a sudden was becoming a huge format. And people had to make a choice between a $2,300 computer or this $700 video game machine.
Which it basically was seen as was a video game machine. But he wanted it to be something else.
Yeah, it was designed to be a do-everything machine, but most of that just never happened.
That it wasn't praised at the beginning and people believed in it, but it was ahead of the time.
Well, it's funny you bring that up, because we actually have here a Time magazine article from the early days of the 3DO. And we'll give you some exact quotes here. We did a little bit of research, and they basically said they were all over this thing. Time magazine, it was huge within their their electronic product. They even named it 94 Product of the Year or something.
Well, it was huge with investors. People were putting a lot of money into this machine and a lot of hope.
Yeah, this was the mainstream market actually started making, trips into the video game industry, and this was the one they, wanted to invest in.
But nobody was talking like this guy was talking. He was talking about the CD revolution.
Mm-hmm.
And the unfortunate thing was, the things he talked about wouldn't really come to fruition for about another 10 years.
Yeah, he was a very visionary guy who just was far too ahead of himself. Now, his basically idea was to create the feel of, I don't know, what CD technology brings you in with. I guess it's all the CD quality audio stuff.
Yeah, he saw a new way to entertain people. This wasn't supposed to be just a video game system. This was supposed to be an all-encompassing lifestyle machine. There was
like the PlayStation became?
Absolutely.
Well, really nothing became what this wanted to be. It wanted to have educational software. It wanted to be something everyone in the family could sit around and get something different out of. And used for all different things. With the different partnerships they made with AT&T to bring out different models of the machine, they wanted it to be in everyone's home. And it
was just ahead of the time. And
just
the price
ahead of the time.
right.
$700 was just insane. That killed him.
Yeah, he wanted it to be a VCR, slide projector, Game Boy, CD interactive box, laserdisc player,
computer,
all in one box. And there were actually plans in the early version so you can basically make it into an early DVR.
Yeah.
Which was a very interesting concept.
今1台のマシンが全米で大人気。パナソニックの 3DO リアル。松下電器と天才トリップ・ホーキンスが世に送り出したマルチプレイヤーだ。
It's a new experience.
それは全く新しい体験。ホーキンスのマジックに誰もが興奮している。
It plugs into the future.
ゲームを超えた次世代マシン、それが 3DO リアルだ。リアルな映像、リアルな色彩、リアルなサウンド。
It's for everyone.
ゲーム、音楽、教育、広がるソフトウェア。これが松下電器のマルチメディアの第一歩です。パナソニックインタラクティブマルチプレイヤー 3DO リアル。3月20日、いよいよ日本デビュー。
Coming to you soon.
New Gen Gamers.com